Hi, this is Stephen King. I am the consultant with the computer science, the new education program consultant over computer science, and I am here to talk about where we are with computer science education implementation with the state of Kansas. Many of you already know that we adopted the computer science model K-12 standards in April of 2019. At that meeting, we were charged with a task force for developing an implementation plan. We did. We launched it a couple of months later. In November, then I got to take the recommendations for those from that task force on a listening tour of Kansas, hitting several of the cities you see over on the right-hand side of the slide. Had some great conversations at all those locations, talking about both local and statewide needs for computer science and computer science education. Based on all that, then, last month, I and several other members of the task force were able to present our recommendations to the Board of Education, and this past month they approved our recommendations with some more work to be done, some more clarification to be done, but they approved our recommendations on a vote of 10 and 0, so I was very, very proud of that. So our first recommendation is to create the position that I currently sit in now. It is a statewide computer science education position charged with fostering standards-based curriculum instruction across the state of Kansas, representing us at computer science education conferences and nationwide events, consulting with district personnel all over the state, and being a liaison. This is kind of interesting and important in computer science, being a liaison between the State Department of Education and business and industry, who obviously have a very intense interest in our education in computer science across the state. So, recommendation number 2 is to encourage all schools to offer computer science, whether that's at the high school level in CTE programs, which currently about half of our districts, quite a few of our high schools, serving 3/4 or so of our high school population are offering courses that we would consider to be computer science. We're also looking at how to integrate computer science into other grades as well, based upon the standards, and so that'll be a lot of great work going forward. But the State Board of Education at this past meeting said we should encourage all schools to offer computer science. Recommendation number 3 that was approved, adopted, is going to take a little bit more work. Computer science should satisfy a core graduation requirement, and part of the work in that is that graduation requirements mean different things to different audiences. And so when we talk about the core graduation requirement, the first bit of conversation is which computer science. Should it be a general computer science course? Should it be a specific one, a list perhaps? A lot of states are doing this. A lot of states are doing it very differently. And so the plan now, the first task coming up is to get together a group of educators and talk about more specifics on how this makes the most sense for Kansas. Of course, the first question is which computer science course. The second question is going to be what does it count? I've surveyed quite a few different groups and agencies and gotten really very mixed results on whether it should count as a math or as a science or as a math or a science or as a whole new graduation requirement. And so there's, as I said, there's going to be a lot of really interesting work coming up that I'm really looking forward to. Recommendation number 4 is to create a licensure endorsement for computer science. The state of Kansas used to have a computer studies licensure endorsement. It was dropped, about 20 years ago because of lack of use. In Kansas, an endorsement is a restriction on who can teach the class, which makes sense. We do want to see teachers in the classroom who are confident and competent. And so the endorsement is part of that. The other part of that, of course, is how do you prepare teachers to be endorsed? How do you get them through pre-service? How do you take existing service teachers and get them so that they are confident, competent to teach computer science, and at some point in the future endorsed, whatever that ends up meaning. Recommendation number 5 was the money part. We do need to spend some money on this. Currently, we have a professional development budget for computer science, just as the other disciplines that we have their own budget. My position is part of that funding. Based upon the code.org model, the group said about $1 million per year. It may or may not cost that much, and this is an area where I suspect I've had a lot of interest from the business and industry community in this prospect of public-partner or public-private partnership, using some of the development money that our private businesses have to help us fund this aspect of public education. So there's a lot of good, promising stuff to do here. This is an ongoing effort. I was excited a couple weeks ago to have the board adopt our recommendations on a straight vote, 10-0. But as we came out of that, it was clear that we have a lot more work to be done, and I really look forward to joining not just the computer science group, but also the math and science teachers of Kansas as we come together and figure out some of these questions. So that's the end of my presentation. I'm going to go ahead, and my contact information is on this last slide. sking@ksde.org. My new phone number is 785-296-1893. So if you have any questions, reach out to me, let me know. Thank you very much.